wasn't wisdom. It was just honesty. I mean, just had to realize where we were in the moment and just kind of look ourselves in the mirror and how we were playing and what we were doing. That's pretty much all it was.
When was this something as the first period was going on that you thought, okay, I have to say something, or did you get in the room and it just came to you that something needs to be said here?
It was probably just, sitting on the bench for the last, 30 seconds, and we looked flat. We looked, like we were off, and it's just one of those things that things are said, and it's nice that we came away with the win.
What is it like thinking in that moment? Maybe if the season's flashing before your eyes, or down 3-0, to now knowing it's a best of 3. Like, what's the sort of whiplash effect like that you guys as a team are good at dealing with?
Well, nothing's been easy for us. We're good when our backs are against the wall and facing adversity, and we know how to play hockey, and we did that last night, and we found a way to really, check our emotions and just play hockey. That was kind of the main message the last few days is we're good with the puck, and when we want the puck, and when we have it, and it's gotten us this far, so why change?
Chris said just a few minutes ago that he's not sure who's starting in goal, but what's it like for you guys to be in the situation where you are, where you have two goalies who, they've both come up huge for you guys here in these playoffs? They've both been amazing. It doesn't matter who's in net and who's back there. We have trust in both of them, and Pix came in last night and he made some big saves. That one in overtime, I lost a battle on the wall, and it's a 2-on-1 in front, and we could be talking about something different right now. You got to give a lot of credit to him that coming in the way he did, and after the first period, and down 3-0 in the situation that we were in, and he backstopped us. Paul Maurice last night said that this Stanley Cup playoffs is as good as it gets. It's like Christmas. You've been in a couple of these. Is this the best Stanley Cup final you've been a part of?
Probably. Just the way the games have gone, overtime in three of the four. It's two good teams, and they're evenly matched, and you're going to get some good hockey, and there's some superstars on both sides of the puck, and it's fun to be a part of.
You just said it yourself about checking emotions during a game like this, but you've been here before. How do you manage your emotions in a series like this that might be the best one you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, it could be, it can go either way, but it's hockey, and you have to check your emotions because you have to stay out of the penalty box. How they have been pretty good on the power play. They've solved some things, and they found some holes, and they've made plays, and good teams are going to do that. Everybody has the video on everybody and what to expect, and so checking your emotions for me is staying out of the penalty box and playing within our guidelines of our game, and we know how to do that. And we did that in the second and third period.
How's your son been enjoying his roller coaster of the final?
It's been fun. It's not his first one, but it's one that he is fully invested. He knows what's going on. He's at that age where he knows, the ins and outs of hockey, and especially now that he's playing and part of it, and it's been a lot of fun because you call after the game and he's just as riled up as you are, and just as happy as you are. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting.
What do you think it's going to be like in Edmonton tomorrow night, and how prepared do you think you guys are as a group to handle to seize the opportunity you guys have at home in Game 6, or Game 5?
Everybody knows what the crowd's going to be like. Saturday night, and in Alberta, it's going to be exciting.
No, but I think I've talked about this a lot. Is we're mature, and I think after that first period last night, it showed that we're a mature hockey team, and I don't expect anything else.
But I want to ask you about Silly Pop Colson. I know he's a quiet guy around the ice, around the rink, doesn't say a lot, but his first one on the ice as a teammate of his, what's it like for him to put in the work every single day in preseason, regular season, playoffs, and him having a game like that on the biggest stage? What's that mean to you as a team?
Yeah, we always joke around with him that he's out there way too early, 40 minutes early before practice, but you see the work he puts in. He's always on the bike. He's always in the gym. He's always on the ice. The first one on the ice, and probably the last one to leave every day. And to see him come through and score that goal and then make that play to Leo in overtime. You can't ask for anything better. It's the playoffs are about guys being noticed and putting yourself on the map and unsung heroes, whatever you want to call it. He's right up there because the things he's doing is pretty amazing.
Last night, and sorry. He said that the Stanley Cup final is as good as it gets. He compared it to Christmas. Is this the best final that you've been a part of?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing out there. And
but I guess just how incredible have these games been to be a part of?
yeah, I mean, especially for me being out for so long and coming back and then just be part of the group and trying to collect wins as we go, just to not taking anything for granted at this point. So I'm just happy to be back, and obviously there's been some overtimes, there's been some comeback wins and whatnot, but that's part of the game, and we're just trying to manage.
Mattias, it's one thing for the group to understand the gravity of the moment coming into the first intermission, being down 3-0, but it's another to flip the script on a team of that quality on the other side. What is it about this group that keeps coming through time and time again when your backs are against the wall?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think that's something that this group has been really good at. Looking back at last year's run, even looking back at that, 2 years ago, we played LA in that first round. I don't know if people remember, but we were in that exact same position. We were down 2-1 in the series. We were in LA. We were down 3-0 after the first, and we came back to win that in overtime. So we've done it before. We've shown it before, and that's where the playoff experience comes in my opinion. Like, that's where you use it. You know that you're never out of a game, and especially with the players that we have, the mindset that we have, we know that we can score a lot of goals in a short time of period when we need to. So hopefully we don't get in that position again, but it's obviously something that we can do.
How about the crucial block that you had? Maybe just take us through what you saw in that play and how big of a play that ended up being.
Yeah, it was kind of a 3-on-3 that turned into a 4-on-3, and that's when you kind of have to leave somebody open, and then unfortunately that was kind of my guy that was open. So no, I didn't even know that the net was empty or anything. I was just in the moment trying to get as big as possible, and obviously me and Nuge came together, and then it ended up hitting me, and it was obviously a big block at the time, but I haven't thought too much more about it. It was a block, and sometimes you need those.
Chris he's still deciding who starts in goal for Game 5, but what does it mean for you all to have two guys that have been as good as they have been in this postseason that you can go?
Yeah, it's crucial. One guy's not going to have it every night, so it's to know that we have two guys that we have great confidence in, and you see Kevin step in yesterday with all the confidence in the world, and he made some amazing saves. Like, he had a couple breakaways or half breakaways at least, and that one in overtime too is just tremendous. So they both have shown in this playoffs that they both can play, and they can do it great. So for us to have two of those guys, it's obviously it's a great deal.
Guys say when you're down 2-1 in a series, all you have to do is win, and then it turns into a best out of 3. You got 2 games at home. What is it like now, seeing what's ahead of you and the opportunity ahead of you, and basically a best of 3 in the series?
Yeah, I'm not looking longer or further than next game. It's Game 5 now, and we all know that Game 5 is always a big game in playoffs. So doesn't really matter. I feel like with these two teams, whether we're at home or on the road, obviously we love to play in front of our fans, and that gives us an extra boost. But the way these games have turned out, it just seems to be who's got the night and who can execute to a higher level. So just now, I mean, just woke up, but I'm trying to get ready for Game 5 here. It's a quick turnaround on this one, so yeah, we'll be ready tomorrow.
Chris talked about playing with urgency, but also making sure you check your emotions, stay out of the box. How important or how hard is it to balance that urgency while also making sure you're keeping your emotions in check?
Yeah, I mean, that's how they will test you, but I think we've been through this enough with this team now where we understand also that it's going to be a part of the game, but you can choose to interact with it or not. And I thought yesterday, I mean, there's myself, I had a high stick and whatever, those things we got to clean up. But I thought on the emotional part, we did a good job last night. It was a lot better than Game 3 in my opinion. So I think that that's something that we'll keep doing and keep focusing on.
You guys were down to 5 at certain stretches last night. How tough is that to do, and kind of what do you think of your defensive depth in terms of being able to plug guys in when needed during this playoff series, even when you were out and even now?
Yeah, no, I think we have good depth. It was obviously a situation where we needed some goals, I guess, and sometimes you go down and play 5, and I was sitting with, I think it was with Kulak last night too. It's sometimes when you play 5, it's kind of nice because you stop thinking, you're just going, right? Like you're just really waiting on, are you getting double shifted or are you going to get a breather? But you're always in it, you're always going, and I think all 5, I guess all 6 of us that played last night can handle those minutes. And again, it went to overtime again, but if you look at 60 minutes, I don't think anyone was ridiculously high. So I think that the D has they stepped up last night. I mean, Darnell had a huge game, so and some other guys too. Walnut with the big goal. So I think we're doing some good things, and we just got to keep it going.
We heard about Corey Perry's talk with you guys in first intermission, and what do words from a guy like that mean to you, and just what has he meant to you all through the past 2 years, but especially these playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, outside of his play where he's almost 10 goals now or something like that, like that's crazy. He's been so valuable for us. He's a leader, and he knows exactly when to step in there. He doesn't do it all the time, but when he does, it's always great, and he gets everybody's attention. And I mean, it was a really good last night from him again. I mean, both on the ice and in the locker room. So it's what we expect out of him. He's getting up there, but he's still got it.
What was it like to see Vasily Podkolzin have the game he have? I know he's a quiet guy around the rink, but shows up first, leaves last, on the ice 40 minutes before.
Yeah, no.
They have a big 2-point.
Absolutely, I thought he played great, and he always gives us his 100%. Like he's in on the forecheck every time, finishing his hits. But to see him get some points, and obviously that game-winning assist as well was great. I think the world of Pods. I think if he just keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be a really good player for years to come.
Doing well.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it looked like he might have gotten a little dinged up on that high stick at the end of the first period?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
Was that a coach's decision for him to sit the rest of the way, or was that injury related?
It was a coach's decision.
Okay. With your goaltending, you kind of got a nice little setup here with Pickard and Skinner. Are you set to name a starter for Game 5? Or?
No, I'm not going to name one yet.
Okay, but how nice is this situation that obviously Skinner, it wasn't really his fault in the first period, great first period by him, and then Pickard, the work that he's been able to do for you guys throughout.
Yeah, both goalies have been really good and key to for us to getting here. Stu, since Pick's injury, came in, played some really good games, the Vegas series, Dallas series, obviously. And, anytime that we haven't been strong in front of them, it's unfortunate. Like last night in the first period, we weren't at our best, and, puts the goalie in a vulnerable position. And, as a coach, we make that switch and Pix comes in and makes some huge saves. So, it's nice that we've got a nice tandem that they're going back and forth, and each one of them have been really solid for us.
Chris, how difficult was that decision during the intermission? Because we know how proud Stuart Skinner is, and he was really good in that opening 20. How difficult was that?
It's a difficult decision. You ultimately you're saying that you're putting the blame on one guy, and that's not fair. That's not, because no one else is getting pulled from the game, and but we felt that we needed to change something, and obviously it worked last night, but obviously it doesn't always. We need to just play better in front of whoever is in net. In second, third, and overtime, we did play much better than we did in the first.
When it comes to execution in that second period, sorry, Bob, where did you see the tactical differences from your team in terms of executing the game plan that allowed you guys to start opening it up?
I think we just played with a little more passion, urgency. I think urgency is a very important word there. Just winning those battles. In the first period, we didn't have the battle, or didn't win those battles. We didn't have the puck. We're in defending, and we're just pretty much surviving each shift. As the game went on, second period, we were able to get a little bit of life. That power play goal definitely huge catalyst, gave us a lot of life on the bench, a little bit of excitement, and we played with a little more that urgency. And going forward, we're going to need that.
You put Jeff Skinner in on a line with Adam Henry and Trent Frederick. They scored an even strength goal. They had 2 chances to probably score, including the winner in OT. Just to assess their third line's so good. What did you think of your third line last night?
That line has played 2 games for us. One game 5 at Dallas, and then last night, and I've been very impressed with it. They've been carrying more of the play. I thought Jeff Skinner had a lot of good scoring opportunities. He had a breakaway. He had a big part of the even strength goal earlier in the game. They almost scored the overtime winning goal. I was very happy with those 3.
How do you help manage the team's emotions in a series like this, and even for yourself? How do you guys remain even-keeled throughout it?
Well, a couple of things. I think one, we're an older team. There's been a lot of highs and lows that they've experienced. And another one is, I think, just the maturity of the team. They know what's at stake, and we've had ups and downs throughout the season, especially in the playoffs. Heartbreaking losses, unbelievable wins, overtime. So we've been able to just park those and get ready for the next game, because I don't believe that momentum goes from game to game. It's important that we're enjoy that win, obviously, but we have to get prepared, because there's such a quick turnaround, that we're ready for our next game.
After Game 3, a lot was said about discipline. Guys are being indisciplined in the first period, allowed 2 goals on the power play, so that was 5 in 4 periods. Do you think that they finally got it that time?
Well, we just got to control our sticks. It's the amount of high-sticking penalties that we've had. I think that's a big part of it, and we can control our sticks, and then we're not in the box as much as we are. We would like to never take a penalty. We don't want to put them on the power play. We feel that we're better when we can get everybody involved and not having those long stretches of killing penalties, because then we pretty much ice certain guys if they're not out there regularly. Going forward, taking 3 or 4 penalties in the first period, very rarely are we going to be able to survive that and win. Last night was fortunate that we were able to survive that, but something that we can't do again.
The guy said that it could be, if you turn this into a best of 3, 2 games at home, you got to feel good about that. How good do you feel about the situation now, where the series is 3 games with 2 of them potentially?
It's nice being back in Edmonton. The support of the city, the home crowd, but I think both teams play so well on the road that I think whether it's a must-win for either team, I don't think I think both teams would feel comfortable going on the road. But we're down to a best of 3, and the fact that we were trailing the series going in, and the fact that we were able to tie it up, we feel pretty good about that. Especially the way we've
been able to win our 2 games. Some unbelievable come from behinds. Very difficult, 3-0. The way the first period went for our guys to stick it out and come back and get the victory. That's very few teams can do that.
Chris, some people are saying that this is the best final ever so far through 4 games, especially with 3 overtimes. What are you seeing as a head coach, somebody who maybe appreciates the games more than?
Well, I can see that from a fan standpoint. It's some really good hockey. These 2 teams have been battling out, and each team has had their time where they're pushing the play. We're getting all, and the best players from both teams are coming up with at key times. No more than Leon Draisaitl in the overtime last night. I would like a little less stress for myself behind the bench, and maybe I could enjoy it a little more. But I can definitely see it's really good, exciting hockey.
Speaking of a stressful moment, what was going through your mind on that opportunity they had in overtime? And Calvin Pickett got it with his glove, and then it hit the crossbar, and just that whole sequence.
That Calvin had it under control, that he would make that save.
One more on Stetcher, sorry. Is he available for Game 5?
I have not checked with our doctors, but I have no report.
Okay.